This isn't just a how-to, it's what actually happens when I tried building a solo AI business. And there's a bunch of videos out right now about how to build a solo AI business, and I've watched most of them. Good videos, sure, people are smart, but they're kind of telling you what to do, and they haven't put it into practice themselves. This isn't that. This is what actually happened when I did it. The full unfiltered version, the stuff that worked, the stuff that didn't, and the part nobody's really talking about. What do you do when the business isn't making money yet, but the bills are still showing up every month? So if you're here because you saw Dan Martell or Jordan Welch's video and you're thinking about making a move, stick around because what I'm about to show you, it looks pretty different than what they're talking about because I actually did it. Sat down every day and put in the work. I'm Nolan Grout. AI pays my bills and it has been for a while now. I don't just teach AI, but I use it every single day to run a real business for myself and for other real clients. Let's get right into it. So, first off, the part that nobody really puts in the thumbnail, I want to start here because really it's the thing that made everything else possible. And it's also the thing that's completely missing from every solo AI business video I've ever seen online. When I was building this thing, 8 to 12 hours a day in the terminal learning Claude code, debugging, fixing errors, red eyes, headaches, the whole thing. I still had bills. Rent doesn't care that you're building something, right? So I did whatever it took. I hung Christmas lights, I helped older people move furniture, whatever general manual labor task was available, I did it. Anything anyone needed done, I did it. Not because it was the plan, but because the plan doesn't always pay rent on day one. And I'm not saying this for drama. I'm saying it because there's this version out there of the build an AI business story that just skips over the part where you're figuring out how to eat while you figure out the business. Nobody titles their video, How I Built a $10 million Solo AI Business While Hanging Christmas Lights and Struggling to Pay the Rent. But that's actually what's closer to the truth for most people, right? The grind period was real. I was spending the first half of every day doing whatever paid in the second half building. Sometimes it flipped. Sometimes I was in the terminal at 2 a.m. because that was the only quiet time I had. What kept me going through that period was something I believed pretty early on. The principles that I was learning in Claude Code, how to prompt correctly, how to actually think about what you're asking an AI to do. Those transfer everywhere. It's not a platform specific skill. Prompting well works across every AI tool that exists. So every hour I put in felt like it compounded. Even when the business wasn't showing up yet, it just, that was part of the grind period, right? And once the business does show up, boom, that's when the grind period starts to end. And when it does, I mean, it ends fast. But first, you got to survive it, right? Now, here's where it gets interesting though, because the way I got my first clients was kind of the opposite of what most people would tell you to do. So, here's how the first clients for me actually happened. Well, instead of calling everybody up offering to sell them something, I gave work away for free. Not as a gimmick, not as a funnel, just because I needed to build trust and I had no track record yet. So, the first few projects, they were either free or cheap, and basically free. When I say cheap, like I mean a couple $100. And there's something that happens when you do that, right? When someone gets a result from you and it costs them nothing, I'm not a vendor to them anymore at that point. Now I'm someone they trust, and that trust is what turns into referrals, into repeat longer term work, into bigger projects down the road, right? Every client I have right now traces back to something that started as a freebie, a deeply discounted project, and that's not a coincidence. The mistake I see a lot of people making is trying to charge market rates before they have anything to show. I get it, your time is valuable, but when you're unknown, charging high prices isn't just confidence, it actually causes more friction. Give the first few people a reason to say yes, deliver something real, and then the conversation about money gets a lot easier. Okay, so at some point I had a few clients, small projects, some larger, enough that I can really start calling this thing a business. And that's when everything I thought I knew about what I should be doing with my time just completely changed. So the mindset shift for me that changed everything. Well, for me, it's something that nobody was really talking about because everybody tells you got to get good at AI, and eventually the returns on learning, well, they start to diminish. So I spent so long in the weeds debugging, building, and iterating that I did get genuinely good at AI. And at some point, I realized I was still spending 6 to 8 hours a day learning and building when now I should be spending that time on marketing and sales. So it sounds obvious now that when I say it out loud, but when you love the technical side, it's easy to stay there. It feels productive. It feels like you're working, you're making things. The problem is that this making things nobody knows about doesn't grow a business, right? Marketing and sales are the two pillars of any business, regardless of what that business does. I'm in AI consulting or AI agents, but really what I am or who I am is a marketer that happens to know AI. That reframe started changing how I spent every single day. So I made a decision instead of continuing to get so I made a decision. Instead of continuing to get marginally better at I was going to go deep on getting clients. And to do that at any kind of scale, I was going to need a system. And this is where things get extra interesting because the system I built to get my own clients ended up becoming one of the services that I sell to other businesses. So, what machine did I build to get my own clients? Well, you see, first off, I had a problem. I needed to create a massive amount of content or video ads to get my name out there. And I didn't have the time, the budget to hire a team to do it. So I solved it the same way I solve everything now. I built a tool using AI. I made myself a custom video editor that produces batches of short form content video ads. You can see the video on the channel. This idea, it came from watching Alex Hormozi video where he was talking about how this is how we're doing our video ads now. We have 50 hooks, 5 bodies, a few CTAs, right? And so I took this simple concept, made it into something. I'm like, oh, I need that. Let me automate it, right? So I pulled out one component of this system and boom, now I have this beautiful tool that gives me a competitive advantage. Okay, so now I have this tool that allows me to produce my ads and get my name out there, right? So then it's like, all right, I have this, but how am I actually going to bring people in? Like, I need an offer. Okay, so then coincidentally, I'm watching another Alex Hermosi video where he talks about you kind of take your full paid offer, each of the components. So you might have, like for me, I'll have batch ads, I have the AI lead response, landing page, ad management. Let's just say that's 4 of the components. If I can take one of those out and make it free, then I'm going to have a killer lead magnet. So for me, I chose the 300 video ads to become free. And that free thing, it becomes like your best, my best lead magnet. Now I make 300 ads for free for businesses, for new clients that are coming in, right? Anybody I'm working with. It takes me a couple hours max per client, but here's where it really gets meta. By the time someone clicks one of the video ads of mine, they land on the landing page and they get a text instantly once they fill out the form from my AI follow up system. Well, they've already gone through the exact same pipeline that I'm trying to sell them. Okay, so they experience the product before they even buy the product, or they experience the service before they even buy it. In complete transparency, the numbers on this so far have been great. In the first $200 of ad spend, the cost per lead came out to $8.67, which means I had over 21 leads where with people actually showing up to the video calls as well. So now I'm collecting reviews and testimonials from giving them these free things. And then now that I have these reviews and testimonials, one, I can get new business using them, but two, once I give them the free ad, what happens? Well, now they need help running 300 ads. What business owner do you know, or I'm sure if you're a business owner yourself, who has time to set up 300 Facebook ads, especially if you've never ran them before, right? So that's kind of the idea. It leads them into the system. They need help running the ads, or they need a landing page to send traffic to, or they need an AI follow up system to handle the leads because they're too busy and they don't want them falling through the cracks. So the free thing naturally leads into the full offer, landing pages, ad management, the AI agents, all of it. That whole system is what powers my business, prestige.com. The short version, we bring businesses new appointments every day through ads and AI. Make the ads, run them, capture the leads, nurture them with AI, set the appointments, all of it. All they have to do, the business owner, all they have to do is show up to the meeting or the call or the in-person appointment, whatever they choose. It's the thing that I built for myself that turned into the thing that I sell. Okay, is that making sense? Find what you need, build it, and then I promise other people will need it too. So that's the actual story. Manual labor to keep the lights on, 8 to 12 hours a day in the terminal, learning to prompt and learning Claude Code fully, exactly how they're using it to ship real production code. I just wanted to learn the right way the first time, right? Then I started giving away work to build some trust. Then I decided to stop over investing in the technical and the learning of the AI and start actually marketing the business. And then it was building a lead gen system for myself that actually ended up becoming the product that or a service that I can sell. None of it is that complicated when you lay it out like that, but the path through is like it's messy and uncomfortable, man. Like you have to you have to trust yourself, I guess, or put some trust in God, right? And it's very slow in the middle. It always is. It always will be, especially if you haven't built a business before, right? So to me, I think the part that mattered most, and I think it's true for kind of any business, it wasn't the AI. It was surviving long enough to figure out what the business actually was. The technology, it's just a tool, right? The AI, it's just another tool. The business is the thing that's underneath it, right? If you're at the beginning of this, the Christmas light part is probably somewhere ahead of you. That's just the truth. But just fine. It's a part of the game. If you're somewhere in the middle where clients are starting to come in, trying to figure out what to focus on next for yourselves, I'd look hard at marketing and sales processes before you're looking at learning or building new tech. Anyway, that's where I'm with it. I got a lot more to come. So if you're running a business and any of the parts that, what I described from the ads, the AI follow up, the appointment setting, if it sounds like something you need, prestige.com is the place. You can book a call with me and we'll meet. If you want to learn from me and learn in our community how to do all of this stuff for yourself, how to AI enhance your own business, build your own competitive advantage tools that give you a competitive advantage that you don't have to give to anybody else and you can just keep for yourself. Well, that's what the school community is for. There's a link in the description there as well. So yeah, that's really all I have for today. My name's Nolan Grout. Thanks again for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I try to respond to every single comment I get. Like, subscribe, and do all the YouTube stuff. I appreciate you for watching. I'll see you next time, and peace out.